That sounds terrific. So talk to us about Galilee School. What does it do? What does it do? And then we'll get into the history.
Yeah, sure, no problem. First of all, thanks for having me here. It's great to be able to talk to you and to your listeners about the Galilee School. Galilee School is known as a special assistance school. What that recognises is that for some young people, there are barriers to learning and there's barriers to engagement with learning. And for many, they come under the broad umbrella of social and emotional needs. So what we say is that Galilee School seeks to support a cohort of young people who have yet to thrive in mainstream education. And they haven't been able to thrive due to no fault of their own, but many have significant social and emotional needs. Many are impacted by anxiety. Many have experienced trauma in their lives or intergenerational trauma in their families. Many are dealing with other complex domestic environments. Some are dealing with dependencies on substances and those types of things. They've got mental health conditions that see them unable to navigate the complexities of mainstream schools. Now, that's not to say that mainstream schools are deficient. It's simply the case that sometimes the expectations that society has of our young people are hard for our young people to measure up to. And so they step away. They try and they try and they try, and when they fail in their eyes, repeatedly the motivation and the will to continue sometimes steps back. And so many of our young people have missed substantial periods of schooling. They've been disengaged from their learning for a long period of time. And so we seek to re-establish hope in them and in their families' perspective of them for the future, but also to redefine themselves as learners with a new set of sort of idea of self-belief to say that I can learn, I do have a future, and we equip them to pursue that future.
That's an incredible message of hope that they often wouldn't receive. And if they are disengaged, if your students are disengaged from mainstream schooling, to have a philosophy that says, you're important, you have a purpose, and we're going to help you reach that. That must be such a privilege to be the principal of such an organisation.
It's an incredibly privileged position that I have, and I'm incredibly grateful to the team of staff that I have working with me at the school and the wonderful support we get from our parent organisation, Communities at Work. Communities at Work has a tremendous footprint right across Canberra, supporting some of Canberra's most vulnerable people. And so the alignment of mission that we have as a school with the work of Communities at Work is fabulous. But to be able to speak that hope into the lives of those young people and to generate that hope when they can't generate it for themselves, and to talk to them about a future that to them is elusive, but to say, have a go. You know, what we say to the young people is, we need you to turn up. We need you to have a go. And if we can see that they're trying, that's enough. We can work with that.
Yeah.
And everything else that they need to find success is provided by the school. So we provide transport to and from strategic locations around Canberra, because for many of our young people, getting to school is their first barrier. We provide food right across the day, because for a number of our young people, you know, they arrive at school having not had breakfast, etc. All of the ICT, all of the equipment, all of the learning materials that they need is provided. And we do not require our families to pay fees. So it's about removing all of the barriers to attendance and engagement, so that then the work that the young person has to do is to turn up. The harder bit is to build trust and relationship with those young people, and that's the work that our amazing team of staff, comprising teachers, youth workers and other support staff, that's the day-to-day work, building that trust, building that relationship, so that then they can have influence in the lives of these young people and move them towards that future success.
Hey, if someone's listening to this today and going, oh, you know what, this just sounds like the hope for us, I'd love to know more, how can they do that?
Yeah, sure. By all means, go to our website, Galilee School, just do a search of that, you'll come up, it's in Canberra. We're the only special assistance school in Canberra, so you can find us. You can ring the school directly, and if I can quote that number, or perhaps you could leave it on your website. It's 6293 6314. There is no wrong door. You know, many of our clients are being supported by other agencies and community sector organisations across Canberra. We're well known with those agencies, but we think a little bit less well known with families. So the other avenue that they may have is if they're engaging with other health and support services, talk to them about whether or not they think Galilee School might be for them as well.
Hey, can you stay around? Are you happy
Absolutely.
to come around? Because I'd love to unpack the program a little bit more and so people can hear a bit more about it.
From Gordon to Gungahlin.
This is Canberra's own One Way FM.
This is One Way Home with Mick and Tam.
I left that a bit late
You
tonight
did.
and pointed to you and said, "You're on, Tam. What have you got for us?"
We are joined this afternoon by Tim McNevin from Galilee School, 2 campuses across Australia, and your programs are about engaging potentially disengaged youth and setting them up and meeting them where they're at, but also giving them hope, giving them a message of a hope. These young people from years 7 to 12.
Yes.
Now, you haven't always been to year 12. How long have you been doing college, year 11 and 12?
You said 2 campuses across Australia. We have 2 campuses in Canberra.
Canberra, sorry.
One in Canberra and one in Holder.
Yeah.
We are into our 3rd year of delivering the ACT Senior Secondary Certificate, or year 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Hey, could you give us a little bit more background to the actual programs? If I turn up on any given day, or this is my first day of school, what happens?
We believe that simply replicating what happens in other mainstream settings makes no sense when those mainstream settings have been factors in young people not yet finding that success. So our program is designed in response to that. Firstly, we offer a shorter school day. So supervision at the school commences from 9:30 in the morning and concludes at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. On either side of that, our staff are engaged in transport. So we will go out and we'll pick up the young people from Woden, Tuggeranong and Belconnen, and we'll transport them to school. That overcomes that barrier to attendance, because listeners would know and understand that those interchanges can be places where there's temptation and opportunity to step off the bus and into other environments. And also for some of our young people who've experienced anxiety, they're very complex environments. So getting picked up in those strategic locations helps them get to school. And then across the day, there's 4 periods of learning interspersed with, very deliberately, with periods of connection and breaks. Helps the cognitive recovery of the young people, but also provides opportunity for relationship building. Built into all of our learning spaces is a kitchen. So we're not only developing learning skills, but also life skills in our young people. And so we bring them together around food. We teach them how to prepare their own meals, nutritiously where possible. And then we bring them together socially around the table. And in doing that, we're building relationships, self-confidence, nurturing the art of social connection and social interaction, and building community right across the school.
Building community is a massive thing, particularly when perhaps some of these children, young adults coming into that, don't have a great example, have been potentially, you mentioned before, exposed to trauma. And so creating that safe environment must be a huge thing, and you must have some incredible staff to be able to do that and create a network that is a safe space.
Absolutely. The staff are committed, professional and sincere in the support that they provide to the young people. No matter where a young person is coming from, either domestically or otherwise, or the life choices that they have made up until this point, our approach is no judgment. We welcome you. We want you to find success. We want you to learn something new about yourself and to understand your place in the world. We believe everyone has a place and everyone has a purpose. And if we believe that if everyone can find that place and that purpose, not only will that benefit the young person, but it will also impact their family and it will impact the community in which they live.
Mm. Have you got a sort of a success stories that jumps out to your mind that you sort of go, yeah, that's... I mean, you must have 50, 100.
There's a lot. And success looks different for every young person. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
You know, every student that comes to the school, every learner that comes to the school, we engage in an individual learning plan. And that's about understanding their aspirations for the future, what they want to achieve, and also what some of their personal barriers to achieving that might be. So I'm cautious to identify anybody in particular because every one of our young people is a hero. And I say that to them, and I say it to you, and I'll say it to anybody that's listening. The circumstances that some of these young people are overcoming on a daily basis is incredible. And they are courageous to take a step forward and to trust us. But having said that, I'm reminded of a young lady, and I'm sure Georgia wouldn't mind me sharing this story, but she was a student of ours prior to the commencement of year 11 and 12, and she was navigating life as we all are, and did really well up until year 10. Then she needed to leave us because we didn't offer year 11 and 12. We believe we had a moral imperative to do so. So we established a senior secondary college. She found out about that opportunity. She reached back to us, and she graduated as a member of our first ever cohort of year 12 students last year. She was the highest performing student. And along that journey, she also had a child of her own. And we needed to support her, connect her with other services of communities at work, so that those barriers to success could be removed, so she could pursue her dreams.
That's incredible.
That is fantastic. Hey, if people are interested in this, they can go to your website and certainly find out where they can reach out. I take these information sessions. They can do a tour of the school, and certainly you can sort of talk about suitability and all the rest of it that goes with potentially coming on board with the program.
And we're on Facebook as well. Just do a search. If you think there's a conversation to be had, give us a ring.
Awesome.
Hey, Tim, thank you so much, not for just coming in this afternoon, but also for all the work you do for our community in reconnecting with these kids and setting them up for success. Thanks for that, brother.
Thank you for the opportunity.